Double Dock Man. What do you mean Double
I think they're talking about purple fruits.
Purple Fox. Welcome everyone, welcome to our stream, and we're no longer doubled, we're no longer all doppelgangers. We're doing another of the monthly recap streams, so we're going to be going over all the cool stuff that happened over the month of May. I'm Frixius, I'm here with Bob, our finance officer, Rue from art team, H's art team, next doing streaming media, and spoilers. Am I missing anyone? I don't think I missed anyone. We also have a surprise guest. Well, not a surprise, but you'll see. And we're going to be, presenting. At the end of the stream, there's also going to be space for questions. So if you want to ask us anything, you'll be able to. But we're going to go through our main topics first. Generally, we focus on sort of the big additions, but there's a lot of small stuff that happens, throughout the month. We closed 133 GitHub issues over the last month, so there's a lot of stuff that happened. If you want to, go into the details, we recommend checking the updates channel on Discord or the update announcements on Steam. They contain detailed release notes. Check out also Devlog channel, where there's a lot of stuff that's being kind of worked on, so you can see different team members post about what they're currently working on and what's kind of being processed, and then we can get a little more detailed information. But we're going to focus on the big stuff. And speaking of the big stuff, one of the big things that's happening right now is the splittening. So what it is, it's the final phase of our current big performance update, and it's a phase that once finished should give us the big performance boost. We jokingly call it a splittening because what is happening as part of this update is we're taking Flux Engine, what's running pretty much all of this, all the behaviors, and we're pulling it out of Unity into its own process that's going to be running with the modern .NET 9 runtime. And that's one of the things that's going to give it a big performance boost, because this runtime runs much faster than the runtime that's embedded within Unity. Unity is still going to be used for the time being as the renderer, however, is not going to contain majority of the engine anymore. The communication is going to happen through a process called IPC, which stands for Inter-Process Communication. We're specifically using a mechanism called shared memory, where you can have two processes on your system share a chunk of memory to exchange data extremely efficiently. This is already in development. There's already sort of, I don't know how to call them, prototype builds, where we're starting to see first visuals. If you've been watching the devlog, there's still quite a bunch to do, but it is actually happening now. A lot of the work we've done before this has been sort of preparation for this to be able to happen. We've done, the type system rework, we've done photon dust, which is our own in-house particle system, and we've done audio, which is our own in-house audio system. By making those systems our own and moving them fully to Flux Engine, it actually laid the groundwork for the splittening itself, for moving the Flux Engine out of Unity, because it disentangled it from all these hooks and roots and tangles it had with the Unity engine, and made it easy to kind of move it out and then communicate over the shared memory process. We expect once this part is done, this is gonna give us a big performance boost, because we're gonna be able to use modern .NET 9 runtime. We're also going to be able to start developing things that we're not able to do before. We're going to be able to use more modern libraries that were, for example, .NET 9 only. We will be able to upgrade the code base, because some of the features of the .NET runtime and the C# language, they're not available when we use Mono. So it's going to allow us to significantly modernize the code base and simplify our work. There's still progress kind of going on. It's going to take a little bit before we have functional testable builds. Once they're usable, we're going to do a typical pre-release, where we're going to release a build for the community to test, catch any bugs, catch any problems before it goes to the public. so you have that to look forward to. If you'd like to know more, strongly recommend checking the devlog channel. This contains frequent updates on the progress of this. But I know on my end, because I'm the primary person like working on this, but we do have like some engineering as well who are helping with parts of it. For example, Syra has like helped prepare a library for the interprocess communication for the shared memory test, and has tested it in various scenarios, especially between like Mono and the .NET 9, both on Windows and on Linux, and make sure like that library is like robust. Keep an eye on like the devlog channel. You'll see like the updates there. We're gonna probably make a big announcement once the pre-release is ready, because we want maximum test coverage for this one. But even for me, you know, when I'm working on this, I'm very excited because like a lot of the work we've been doing has been culminating to this point to be able to do this part of the development. And once this is done, we should get like a big performance boost. That also doesn't mean that once splitting is that we will no longer be improving performance. We're probably going to be switching to other tasks for a while, but there's still going to be other performance tasks that we're going to be doing in the future. So this is not the end-all update, but it should give us a big performance boost. So the pretty much kind of covers the splitting, which lets us move to the next topic, where I'm going to hand this off to Aegis. So Aegis, would you be able to tell us a little bit about like what the team has done over the past month?
So, alongside the work that has been done to optimize the coding side of things, the main goal for content lately has been to go through and optimize what we have right now. We've been showing progress throughout the months of refurbishing what we have with the tutorial world and the cloud home, as well as things like what you use every day, like the tools, the camera, the default avatar, as well as we are adding definitely quite a few things here and there, like the avatar gazebo. And there's like a lot more we want to do after this update. One thing I want to mention too, as like a general PSA, that the update that we want to do for like a full-fledged like interactive game-like experience for the tutorial, that's going to be more or less after the update that we're pushing out now, because I know some folks were confused on that, and definitely there's a lot that we would like to do. It's just a matter of time, and actually mainly time. And with the splitting update coming out, it'll help us even more to see like what kind of things we can do with performance-wise of making content in here. And I have like a huge chunk of things that we've done. Some of it we've shown already, like the Avatar Gazebo, but the number one thing, though, I do want to also announce here is between all these different things, I've been wanting to go through and revamp the process of submitting items to the Essentials folder. And one of the biggest things that's going to change is it's going to be on a GitHub submission process. That way, we'll have folks helping us out vet the content and upload it to the Essentials. Right now, it won't use public folders right now. You can submit public folders of the things you want to add to the Essentials, but they'll be brought out of those folders and saved into static folders. And there's like a whole process of like what category would you like to put those in? Say like if it's an avatar, or if it's a gadget or a game or an asset. You can also specify what kind of license you have in the description and all that. And hopefully it should be out soon. A lot of the process is pretty much there. Just a few more things, and it should be up and running soon enough. There'll be a extra announcement in the Discord for it as well too. Now, one of the things I'd like to... Actually, I think it's on the next slide as well. There we go. So there's definitely plenty of things that have been worked on throughout the month. One of them I like to... Actually, I'll bring in the screenshot in here as well too. with the end of the tutorial, when you finish it, there's the teleporter there. Now, usually it would take you to the cloud home. I mentioned this a few times on probably even this previous stream, as well as plenty of the art office hours. But I'd like to show that once this is out, you'll be able to use that teleporter to transfer yourself to different locations, whether it be the cloud home, the avatar gazebo, and a way to find currently active worlds within Resonite. It'll show you all the most popular worlds that are populated worlds within Resonite through a little world browser there, or session browser. This teleporter will be not only in the tutorial world, it'll be in the cloud home, the avatar gazebo, which I recently updated the layout for it with Rue to include a space for it, as well as the Resonite Essentials, so that people can put it in any world they want. Now, another thing that is also upcoming is people definitely requested a way to bring the Dawn Skybox from the Essentials or world template to any world they want. Now, this is a pretty much almost finished product here, where it has the different parts of the skybox that you can choose. You'll be able to spawn it into any world you want, choose what you want, and hit install sky. It will install it, and it'll delete anything that you don't want, and it'll delete the menu system itself as well. Ever since I think it was the spatial variables update, there was another addition in there, by the way, that is for the set default skybox. Originally, it was just a button that you can press in the inspector. Now it's a method that you can use for protoflux or components that can plug into it. So this is using a bit of both protoflux and component to automatically set the skybox to the Dawn skybox.
Okay. Since people are excited for it, one is like a bunch of views and DAs.
Yes. It will be in the Essentials folder once it's done. Now, another thing I'd like to note and announce is one of the features that we would like to add into some of the worlds that we're doing, as well as the Essentials, is a way for users to find events that people host within Resonite, which will be the community events board. It is going to be a facet that will be featured in the Essentials, the Avatar Gazebo, and the tutorial world. It is a collaborative project with some folks in the community, namely Brodoc and Gray. I know Foxbox helped optimize the facet not too long ago as well too, so credit goes to them too. And it will be a way where you can find the different times and dates of community events that people can post within their system and be able to see what's going on around in the many worlds in here. Now, on top of that, another kind of like big one I'd like to highlight is the updates to the camera itself. There are 2 new versions of the camera. One is just like a refreshed version of the old camera. Both of them have the same features, just different visuals. One of them is a UIX based camera. Actually, I could probably bring them in here. It'd be better to show off like that. And let's get the other one in here as well. This one in particular, it's pretty much the same thing, just with the new textures and material work. Although it has some new features that I can go over with easier on the other one. Where did the other one go? Oh, it's snapped to the ground. Okay, there we go. This one is a UIX-based one. Although you don't see the preview in the camera right there or on stream, but it shows what the camera's looking at right now. So I can just take a picture and then you'll see me taking a selfie. Okay, let me take another one because Fruix is in there too. There you go.
Oh, well, stop.
So, some of the new features, actually, the UI should be facing you. So, the UI faces automatically to the user that's looking at it. You got like a smoothness bar down here. If you flick that on, it'll smooth the motion of the camera when you grab it and move it around. You got your normal, usual stuff like your stereoscopic 360, and then cutout images, resolution options as well. Oh, it's snapping on. Oh, okay. There we go. As well as filters. I did add one extra one and makes it look like it's
that's cool.
night vision.
Predator.
As well as update a few guides. You got your rule of thirds, your golden ratio, and a symmetrical
Snail.
one. As well as quick action buttons on the top of this one. You can add a timer, turn on the flash, as well as a few other things, and the essential, like a selfie stick that you can use as a camera anchor. It won't be visible in the camera, but you'll be able to adjust it, use it to take pictures using the streamer camera, as well as a update to the original camera gimbal that's also within the essentials as well. That pretty much covers all the camera stuff we've been going or working on. There is definitely more we want to do with the camera itself, at least some bug fixes, but it definitely would need a rework in the future. That is definitely a GitHub issue on there, I think already made, but yeah.
There was a particularly cool addition, like reworks
a couple
of
few
it.
other things that have been updated as well. As I mentioned, the avatar itself, the default avatar, has been updated even more with a more polished model using the same kind of like design like we did with the original camera, where it's using all the trim textures, so it's using less memory and more design consistency. I also did some small fixes, for example, removing the colliders on the labels on the Protoflux tool, and also updating the multi-tools themselves as well, where you'll now have the ability to play around with a multi-tool system using the official tools. I can just create and swap them out. Use dynamic variables and spatial variables as well. Made it possible.
Yay.
All right, let me open up the menu here. So I can open this up, pop in a new one, and swap them out. I can even also take some of them out, or
you can take them.
Yeah, you can just take them.
It also utilizes Rainbow Bubble. You got to have Rainbow Bubble.
Also, you can even take it when it's not equipped as well. The tool, like if you let go of the tool, and snap in a new one there, and you swap it, it's there. It'll need a rewrite to work with desktop mode, but it is an interesting system to mess around with. There are several handle types as well, too, that have been made. They're all in the Tools Miscellaneous category. Now, another thing that has been rewritten was like one of my side projects, as well as something to optimize and update in the Cloud Home, is a projectile system, or say the two projectile weapons within the Cloud Home, like the bow and crossbow. It has much more features within it, modular wave protoflux that's within it, as well as easier way to add in your own templates for the different effects for like sound, particles, models, etc. There is a template version of its own within the essentials under examples protoflux. That way you can mess around with it and see how it works. I'll make a more in-depth guide of all the different variables when I get time. As well as within that examples folder, there is a spatial variables folder, or spatial variables example within that folder as well too. One of our last major, or last things I'll mention content or art team wise, is that our focus is to finalize and update a new tab within your browser, which will be the Help tab. That'll be a place where folks can be in any world and access information of, well, basic things about Resonite, whether it be about avatars or finding people or how to traverse worlds, as well as more advanced stuff over time. Kind of like a mini wiki.
And
Very excited to help Tad.
Yeah.
Yes. That is pretty much it. Now, I'm assuming I'll hand it off to you for the next.
Yeah. There was also some really cool updates, like we've done like a lot like this like month. I mean, like a lot of this, I feel like there's been also like stuff that's been kind of working like over the past months too, but like there's sort of really cool updates and people seem to be enjoying them and take ages.
Yeah.
So yes, we can now move to our next topic. We should have a few. So there's a, we kind of talk about like the splittening and so on, and it's kind of like the big part that's kind of being developed right now. But there's also like few kind of quality of life improvements that came during past month. One of those you might have already kind of noticed is we reworked how meshes, like which kind of represent pretty much almost everything you see, how are these uploaded to the GPU. And we now have like a new mechanism that's more kind of low level. As part of our mechanism, the uploads are with like procedural meshes that became faster. But also for big meshes, like avatars that have lots of blend shapes on them, they're now spread over multiple frames. Meaning, if you have somebody joining or loading a heavy avatar before, like you would hitch and freeze for like a bit, some really heavy avatars would like freeze you for like from like upwards like 10 seconds or something, and now they will no longer do that. And it's been actually one of the changes that was necessary for the splitting, because we need to rework how the mesh gets uploaded. So instead of it being scattered over like tons of tiny pieces, it's all done in a single big buffer. And it's already been actually integrated into the splitting, but it provides benefit before even the splitting happens. There's been other kind of bug fixes and additions for audio, because there's still some kind of lingering issues. Notably, you now have ability to suppress by default reverb effects for voices. So if you're building worlds where the reverb is designed more for the sound effects and for the music, but not for the voices, that gives you control in the world to say like any avatars should not use reverb, and that kind of helps like some of the worlds which were kind of designed that way. There's also now a new category in the word browser. If you go to the words tab, there's avatars tab, which is going to show you any worlds featuring avatars. It specifically looks for the avatar tag. So if you make an avatar world and it's not listed there, make sure to add avatar tag into one of the tags for your world, and it's going to show up. The goal for this is to make it easier for especially new users to find avatar worlds by just, clicking the avatars tab and joining one of the worlds that they find interesting. So that's pretty much kind of everything on those smaller kind of things, which means we can go back to some of the bigger things again. So first, it is a Pride Month, so like happy Pride Month.
Pride Month. Also,
yay.
I'm pretty sure, Fruix, during that time while you were explaining all those improvements, somebody saw a man run across the camera, and it's
to the man behind the curtain.
I feel like that got people quite distracted. Don't worry, we're gonna get to that individual who ran and jump scared y'all.
We do have a surprise guest.
But yes, happy Pride Month.
Let's time it. Yes, it is the Pride Month, and usually companies like will just turn their logo rainbow for a month and then turn it back, but our logos are rainbow, so we're like, what are we gonna do? So we just added like official Pride badges. You can assign them, self-assign them on the through the Resonite bot. There's actually also like a really cool tool made by the community. Specifically by Epic Easton. She made like a thing like where you just copy the command and put it in. But you should just be able to like, if you send add Pride badge and then like the name of it, it's gonna pop on your nameplate. There's actually, I forget how many we have. Like it's like around 30-ish right now. And what's cool about it is the repo for all the graphics, which were originally made by Chroma Shiba. we already got few contributions because people wanted some additional flag because there's like a lot of them, and we can only do so many for the initial batch. But since the repo's open and you're free to use them for whatever you want as well, like we made it specifically CC0 because we want people to be using these. We got some cool contributions, adding some additional flags, and I know there's still like some contributions that are yet to be merged. This is a permanent addition, so like, you know, it's not one of those where at the end of the month, like, you know, we just forget, like, you know, Pride is a thing, and like, you know, until the next year, these are staying. So like this is a permanent addition to the profile. Once we do have a system for managing your batches, it's gonna be a little bit nicer than sending commands, but this pretty much like has to do for now, and it should like be relatively easy. Like it's pretty much just like, you know, send a command. But
we also added the pride flags to the essentials in the CCO folder. So they're all in there as assets in case people want to use them within Resonite without the badge as well.
Yeah, so they're all around. I've already seen like a bunch of people using them, so like we're pretty like excited.
Yeah, it's a great idea to have something official for that sort of thing, because I noticed a lot of people in the community would usually add those kind of badges just on their own name tag, but it's nice to have something that's an official thing. You just type them through and you can add in the badge of your choice on there as a flag.
There's actually one of those things like that inspired it because we saw a lot of people doing that. So we're like, you know, let's just do like a bunch of official ones. It's gonna make things kind of nicer. With that, we can move to the next big thing. We have a new team member.
Ooh,
hello.
So we got J4. J4 has joined the team. Welcome.
Can someone lift me? I'm a bit too small.
There we go.
There we go. Oh no!
Oh, and you dropped them. Okay, well, hopefully we're not liable for those damages. There we go.
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
There we go. Welcome, J4.
Yeah,
I've
thank
seen a lot of
you.
people already kind of noticing in the comments.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They told me to prepare a speech for like about 3 hours, but I kind of forgot. I'm super happy to be here.
Yes. I'm happy to have J4.
That's a great speech. It's fine.
Right.
Excellent.
J4 has literally helped us, like as a community member, because we were kind of dealing with a lot of like CI/CD and compiling, you know, repos and making them sort of like automated. And J4 like helped with a lot of those and essentially made like a bunch of problems that were kind of like blocking some things. Like for example, with the compressor library, she just made them go away, and then she sent us like an excellent resume. Like we had a bunch of interviews, and now she's part of the team. She's gonna be helping us like with more of CI/CD stuff. Also like internally grabbed a bunch of like headless issues too. So there's gonna be some contributions as well. So we're excited to have you.
Yeah, that I've already I think pushed some one fixes or one feature for the headless. So yeah, I'm really excited about all of this.
Awesome.
The big part is like a little bit CI/CD stuff too. Is like that's gonna make our job like overall like much easier, and it's gonna help like, you know, the other developers on the team as well. Just kind of speed up their work. So
yeah,
we're very, very happy for that.
For those who, just as a small apartheid, for those who don't know what CI/CD is, basically automating everything from building Resonite, publishing it on etc., creating, I don't know, broccoli cheddar soup, I don't know, well, automating all those things.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So no 3-hour speech.
Sadly not. At least not today. Next time maybe.
Not today. Maybe in the future. Yes.
J4 can host a TED Talk.
With that, we have like one more thing is now Stripe is like officially launched. So if you haven't switched yet, Gadley, who's, you know, another team member, like he has fixed up like the last major issue where some of the subscriptions could have stuck for 24 hours and then still like some kind of cleanup. So that should be pretty much gone. And at this point, we pretty much consider Stripe to be stable. It's generally working much better than the Patreon integration is. Like, for example, if you subscribe, like you pretty much get your perks right away. Versus with Patreon, you might need to wait a few hours for it to sync. So we strongly recommend Yes, switch to Stripe. We strongly, if you've been like waiting out, we strongly recommend switching to Stripe. This helps us a lot because even if you switch to the same tier, we get more out of that, and Bob has like some really good numbers on that.
Do it now.
Yeah.
It's
So we
a
recommend
lot of
switching.
numbers.
A lot of numbers. We're gonna get to those in a minute, but but it's pretty much considered stable at this point. We're also gonna do a bunch of things to kind of streamline, like the onboarding with Stripe. But if you can, it would help us a lot. Like if you like switch from Patreon to Stripe. We already had like a bunch of people's switch, and it actually brought us some more money that we can kind of use, for the project and to kind of keep this going and to keep expanding the team. So thank you for everyone who switched, and we hope like more people switch as the time goes. And with that, this kind of segues into the last part, which is the Bob's Business Office Team Hours. So, Bob, what do you have for us?
All right, it's business o'clock. Hey, everyone.
Glad to be here for another.
Yeah, it's business time. Glad to be here for another recap stream. I'm in VRSys's office in Vienna, so I thought we would have the recap stream in VRSys's VR office. Ooh. Also, let's grab our special guest, Conrad. Come on up to the stage, Conrad.
Yeah. Woo! Hey, we need some cheer sticks.
Right. He's got. If he's gonna wear his human scan, I'm gonna wear my human scan that he unfortunately made for me. Yeah. So we're matching. Awesome. So Conrad has been leading VRSys for the better part of a decade. And we've been doing a lot of business for the past year and a half together. Also, speaking of business, I'm currently doing a world tour. I just flew to Orlando, Florida in late May. We'll be spending all of June in Austria with VRSys, and we'll be spending all of July in Japan with the Weverse team. Now, I've been warned about how muggy Japan is in July, and I've also been instructed to say the following. I'm going to have a hot girl summer.
I'm concerned.
Okay. Let's move on to our first slide as soon as we get Rue's big ears out of the way of the shot. The first slide shows the size of our user base and new user acquisition over the past 6 months. Our monthly growth has remained very consistent in both users and subscribers. But interestingly, last weekend we experienced triple our normal daily user growth, probably unrelated to anything else going on in the virtual reality. We're also anticipating a big boom in user growth post-splittening, so mentors be ready for waves of new users like we had just last week. Okay, let's move on to the next slide where we have the 6-month breakdown of our business-to-consumer revenue. We're having a steady amount of users moving from Patreon to Stripe. The dark green bar is getting smaller and the medium green bar is getting bigger. You can see just a $500 month-over-month change causes our margin to increase by 0.3%. In the finance world, this is kind of a big deal. We'll be moving out of Stripe beta like now. I put soon, but I didn't know we were actually live. So we're out of Stripe beta. Switch to Stripe. It saves us so much money. We're paying Patreon 14.5%, and we're paying Stripe like 6%. So switch to Stripe. Let's move on to the next slide because we have the big boy announcement to make. I had mentioned I was in Orlando, Florida in May. We did some business development there and signed a new partnership with EAM Environment and Technology Group. Austin Rocket is currently in the chat right now and will be doing cool stuff. You can also blame Austin for making me say hot girl summer. Yeah, he's going to be on doing some cool stuff later tonight with a bunch of people. We all went to an XR game jam of where all these students were using Unreal to make VR experiences. And we're like, oh man, you spent an entire weekend doing something that would have taken an hour to do in Resonite. hey, do you want to check out Resonite? And a lot of them were like, yeah, let's check out Resonite. So, yeah, we're going to be, as Austin said, poaching some talent. There was actually a senior executive from Unreal that was there, and he walked up to me and started talking to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, which company are you with?" Blah 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 blah. And I just said to him, like, "Yeah, I'm with the competition where I'm just poaching talent." And he just looked at me and he's like, "What?" And I just started chatting with him about Resonite, and he's just like, "Oh man," he walked off and he was like, "Wow," just trying to think about like how cool our platform is. Austin was trying to hide. I'm just like, nah. I'm here for the competition. Handing out business cards is great. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of those guys on, having a lot of fun inside Resonite. We're really trying to promote Resonite as a tool for developers to create really interesting experiences, but also for students that are learning. We have a lot of education uses, and we're actually getting our foot in the door with a lot of different uses. So Austin is going to be leading the way in Orlando, Florida region, and we're really, really excited to have him be our third, our third partner. So I've been cooking up a lot of stuff with VRSys and Weavers, but I'm not going to be announcing it on this stream. I'm going to announce it maybe on the next stream. So I'm going to be in Japan for that stream, and most likely we're going to rope in the Weaver team to do some shenanigans. Let's show you some cool stuff that the art team has been working on, and that's now a flagship product. We have meeting system. Ryuvi's been booking. We got frustrated holding meetings on Discord when they removed the key feature. So Ryuvi was just like, "Yeah, I'm going to create my own meeting system of blackjack and hookers." Well, none of that, but he decided to create a meeting system that is so wonderful. It's probably the best piece of software I've ever seen for meetings. If you hate Zoom and Microsoft, then you should totally check it out. Every company I've shown it so far has stated that they want it. And we believe that this will give our partners the ammunition they need to get their foot in the door with more companies. If you work for a company, you should tell them about it and send them our way.
Please do.
Also, utilizing that system, let's move to the next slide because we have something really, really interesting. So Resonite is first and foremost a tool for learning. We have adapted the meeting system into a full classroom system. So this is going to have hand raise queuing, emoting, polling, file sharing, and chat logs. Those are currently implemented features, but we're also going to be having the ability for instructors to import their lesson plans, student taking notes, and then exporting the data as a text file. It's all built using Protoflux, so each world can have customization built according to the client needs. I've already begun showing universities in Austria, and they're really eager to begin implementations. I think this is going to kind of revolutionize meeting inside Resonite. And we've had businesses that looked at HTC's meeting system and laugh, and then look at Resonite's meeting system and say, shut up and take my money.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be learning in an environment like that? It's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. And also with the performance update, we're hoping to get maybe a university lecture hall of 50 or 60 kids in there. College students in there. Hopefully we're going to be hitting those numbers and be doing university style lectures. So I hope you're all excited for all the things that we've been sharing you on the business sense. That's all I have for this recap stream. Next month, I'll be broadcasting live from Tokyo with more exciting announcements.
This kind of concludes our primary topics, and we got about 10 minutes left, so we should probably get into questions so we can answer at least a few. We do have a question from Jack the Fox Otter is asking, is the Meetup Classroom world going to be publicly available? This is really cool.
Yeah. Once it gets out of beta.
Yeah. I think it's one of those DBD things.
One of the features that it's being worked on is a polling system where you have multiple topics that you vote on, or a topic with a potential choices that you get to vote on. That's like what's being worked on right now.
We also get questions from Renard Drogs 79. Would encrypting content or documents be possible in Resonite? Possible potentially. It kind of depends, like, what exactly do you mean? Like when does the encryption happen? Is it like encryption at store? Is it like encryption like where users need like a password to access something? I would probably, if that's something you're interested in, I would recommend making a GitHub issue and kind of describing your use case so we can kind of better understand, what you need for that. Shining Hero is also asking, with the splitting impeding, will Resonite's team push for hosting any virtual conventions within the next year? So we don't have like any specific announcements, but like we would definitely want to do more. We done like the music event like a while back. We definitely love to do more stuff like that, especially with the performance where it's gonna be more comfortable for multiple people. And there's also some people considering running sort of a virtual like FurryCon and stuff like that, but there's like nothing specific right now. Just kind of general kind of talks. So I would definitely hope so, and we're definitely gonna like once we have the performance through, once things are kind of like more stable for it, we definitely want to push for more of these things and have more events happening. Next question's from the Baroni. What's next after Splittening? Is it too early to say? It is too early to say.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're getting any other questions, so I think we're pretty good to end off the stream. Yeah?
Yeah, I think it should be good to end the stream. So just as a reminder, if you get like questions, we're available also during our office hours. There's a number of them. You can check on the Discord events thing. But in short, there's like Probo Primes like on Tuesday, our team's Wednesday, and then like moderation and mine on Sunday. So we can ask lots of questions. There's like a lot more space for answering things. With that, thank you everyone for joining the stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting Resonite, whether it's like just being part of the platform, socializing, building cool things, bringing more people in, talking about it on social media, or supporting us financially, whether it's on Patreon or Stripe. But if it's on Patreon, please do consider switching to Stripe because this is going to help us even more. Thank you everyone, and we'll see you next month. So I also thank everyone here for joining us. Thanks Connor for like visiting us as well and hosting Bob, and for cool business stuff. And thanks everyone, and thanks Jay for joining us too.
Yay!
Woo! Bye everyone.
Welcome to the team.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.